Welcome guys to the Dynamic Podcast with Brendan and Rhiannon.
On this podcast, we're here to talk about self-development, health and fitness, business, and our journey as brand new business owners.
Let's go. Make sure you stick around because I'm telling you right now, this is the best podcast you'll ever see.
Enjoy, guys. Ciao. Hey, sorry, just before the podcast gets started, I just wanted to let you know that the podcast audio went a bit south in the very beginning, the first 20 minutes, so bear with me. After the 20 minutes, it's completely fine. Enjoy the rest of the podcast, and I'll chat to you soon. Ciao.
Okay, tell us, what's one moment in your journey that made you realise, I'm not a general PT, I'm someone that focuses on women?
I think my first PT experience being within a commercial gym and in a suburb that it was very obvious there was a need for a safe, female-friendly space. Just because of I guess the people that made up that gym during that time.
Yeah. I still feel like it is that style right now.
Is it? Because
I'd say.
I haven't spent much time in commercial gyms since. And I guess 10 years ago, I think it was much worse because you wouldn't even find women training in the weight section at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But in saying that, I think it matters where you go. Obviously, the context matters.
Of course.
And you can still obviously find safe gym spaces, group fitness spaces.
Yeah.
But I don't really know anymore.
Yeah, you forget about that.
Had to be in one.
Yeah, you're outside the bubble now.
I am. I'm in my safe bubble. Yeah.
Well, we do notice that you walk into any commercial gym, it's mainly men on the gym floor lifting the heavy weights. But now we're transitioning to a time where a lot of women are getting under the bar.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think so. I think women are taking more control of their training and they're less embarrassed to be in that section.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of women come to me literally just genuinely with the goal of I want to be educated enough and I want to learn the skills to be able to train in a commercial gym. So it's not even they're committing to me long term. They're just asking honestly for what they want and I'm so happy to give it to them.
That's awesome.
mad.
It's a good attitude to have.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Perfect.
Because I think we worked out our statistics right now. It's around 70 to 80%, maybe 70%.
Yeah.
70% of female.
Female.
Ah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So we've been focusing heavily on trying to educate ourselves on
That's awesome.
the female body and how you guys go through your training phases and everything like that. And it's been insightful for us because we're getting them under the bar. They're doing deads, they're doing hip thrusts, they're doing the squats. And it's really cool to see because most group fitness studios, it's all about burpees, squat jumps, and we're trying to change the narrative.
The narrative is changing as we speak.
No, that's good.
Get women under the bar.
Yeah.
That's really good. And even 10 years ago, you probably wouldn't have found male PTs being committed to learning more about female needs.
Yeah.
So I think that's also something that's changing.
There's just
Good.
Yeah.
That's so good to see.
There's a lot of generalism.
Welcome to growth.
Yeah. There's a lot of generalism over the PT topic. You just think, okay, just go and do some weights. But no, it's you have to actually dive into the research because there's a lot that we don't even know about.
For sure.
And here we are now talking about it.
Yeah.
So talk us through your journey. So in 2015, you dropped out of uni, you had no real plan. What happened after that? What made you get into personal training from there?
It was literally just that I had gotten into training for myself.
Yep.
And for the most basic reasons of just wanting to feel better in my body and look better and literally just wanted to lose weight, be skinny or whatever. And I started training with friends. And slowly it was obvious that I was leading the sessions and I was training my friends, not just training with my friends. And I just didn't have anything else going on. I was just working casual jobs. And my friends just suggested it. They were like, you would be good at this, you should try it. And I just did a really quick 8-week a private course. And I just actually had no idea how it was going to go. I didn't know it was going to work out. I was so nervous. I didn't have confidence to speak. I didn't have a loud speaking voice. And, but I just had nothing else going on. So I was like, we can give it a shot. Let's see what happens.
What were you studying at uni at the time?
I was doing a double degree of psych and business.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I only did about a semester. Yeah, I just hated uni. I hated it so much. And I thought, I'm already a thinker and I'm already so in my head every day. So why am I committing to a career where I'm having to spend all day in my head? And so that's another thing that attracted me to PT and doing something more physical.
So your love of training emanated into what your business is today?
Definitely, yes, yeah. But in saying that, my love of training wasn't Like it really only started after high school. I wasn't like fit in high school. I wasn't like into PE at all. I was really lazy. So it was like a bit of I think a lot of people from high school would be like, why is she a PT? Like why would she become a PT? Like it didn't make sense.
Those journeys that you go through on your own, you've taken a passion and turned it into a career. That whole journey has now led you to open up a gym. And you've got a gym in Earlwood as well. So tell us a little bit more about Be a Strength.
Be a Strength. Well, I guess it's like the end product of a lot of small steps taken. So it's a lot of small journeys kind of thing. Going from commercial gym and then opening a really small space and then moving into share a space with someone else, finally making it into beer. It kind of just is our final nice place that is, has gotten to be fully branded with what I believe in. And yeah, we just got to make it our own. It's like an accumulation of all the years of my PT and all the clients I've ever met and everything that I've learned training them. So it's like, and I mean, you would know having your own space, you get to finally create this blend of your style as a coach and having this final space. It's like, it's not just my style as a coach, but it's now the whole space style kind of thing. And like, everyone who visits and people who come and do just like day workshops or seminars or whatever, it's more than just me as a coach, even though I am the only one who works there. It's just me there.
So there was one intersection that you started a gym or you opened up a space with your partner.
Yeah.
Things fell through though. Now, a lot of people would actually quit at that point because things get really hard. Obviously the relationships fall and you planned this whole experience with someone. What made you actually want to continue going?
Well, we didn't actually get to the stage where we opened a gym. We were both working together within the commercial gym and we were already working under the same business. So we already had kind of like a combined community and combined clients. We even had a system where some clients would see both of us in a week kind of thing. And then when the relationship fell apart quite suddenly, it was kind of like an opportunity. Obviously, I wasn't going to go ahead with opening a gym with this person. And it was just the biggest blessing in disguise because then I had a moment where obviously it was hard and I was sad and I definitely like had a few dark couple weeks. But because we already had that community, I had so much support. And it was embarrassing and awkward because everyone knew what had happened. But in saying that, they could obviously see I was just like a 21-year-old girl and I made a mistake with the wrong guy. And they all reached out and they had seen how suddenly it would have felt for me because they got to see us, multiple times a week. So they saw what looked like a faithful guy or whatever. And then when they found out what had happened, they were just like so overwhelmingly supportive. And that was obviously what I then took to be like, I'm just not going to disappear. I'm now going to use this and create my space. And actually it made so much more sense for me to open a female-only space than whatever we were trying to kind of create together.
That's so cool. So I feel like that moment actually turned you into where you are right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Would never reverse it, would never take it back. It was the biggest step into, I'm going to become this woman who's obsessed with women empowerment and who's obsessed with growing other women. And kind of from that moment, but that was just probably the last little tick kind of thing.
Yeah, the last little tick that you needed.
It was just the last push you into that. But obviously I was already this person before it.
Of course, yeah. You're already thinking it in your brain, but then you were like, I needed this to actually kick that fire.
Yeah, literally exactly that.
Then BL was ignited at that moment.
Well, actually for a long time it was DKF Fitness.
Oh, really?
Denise Fitness.
Yep.
Because that's what everyone was calling their fitness.
Yeah, their names.
At that time.
I used to be Bodies By and then your name,
that
right?
was popular. That was after me. But it wasn't until actually I moved into this final space that I was like, I'm not putting my names on the wall.
Yep.
It doesn't make any sense. And I did want it to become something where more than just one-on-one sessions happens in there. So I want it to be now a space. And so that's when I came into terms with Bia, which is the Greek mythology goddess of bodily strength, force, and power.
That is so cool.
So now you've got a story behind the name.
Exactly. It just
2 times over. Yeah. So it's double story.
Yes.
And you're on the second story as well.
Yes.
There you go. That's good. And when you opened up a women's only gym, what did you what did you start noticing about women's needs that weren't being sort of touched on in commercial gyms?
I guess the biggest thing is when I was within the commercial gym, and again, I don't know what the experience is like now, but it was just so, like the outside noise was so loud, like the male influence was so loud, good and bad, whatever it is. So you just kind of, I guess women feel like they just have to kind of be quiet and show up and get the session done and leave, and, you know, be as small as possible and don't take up space and don't go in the weight section, or you might get looked at wrong, or that was just my experience. I hope it's not like that anymore. But then as soon as I had the private studio, like we started to have such deeper conversations. So I think it's literally, it was the need for a safe space to then even start to think about what they need, and for them to just start thinking about what they want to like actually express to me in that session. And then that gave me the opportunity to get to know them better and get to do my job better, and just go on this next journey of like truly understanding women's health.
That is so important. That word that you said, safe. I think those environments of a commercial gym are very daunting at times.
It can be scary.
Very, very scary.
Yeah.
But
I'm just imagining myself when I'm doing deadlifts.
yeah, you grunt and moan. So you can only imagine what a female would think walking in and
Well, that's
seeing
why
that.
I do it outside of gym hours.
But that's a very good word that you bring up. It's a safe environment. You've created a journey for people to walk into a safe environment, which is, I believe, hard. I think with any personal training, with any personal trainer, it's hard to build that community.
Yeah.
But when you have a story that people follow as well, and they're with you on that journey, it just makes the storyline, the chapters of your life, so much more rewarding to read back on.
Sure. Like all those chapters so obviously align with my business moves and my business growth. Like personal growth, business growth have just been like together the whole way through, and like my business is truly a clear depiction of me.
They do say that building a business, you're actually building yourself throughout those stages as well. Do you feel like your personal growth has been aligned with your business growth?
Absolutely. Like it's almost just blends into one big thing. And I understand that for some people, business is just business. This isn't everyone's experience to be so passionate and so over the top about what their business means to them. But I guess when people ask me when they're interested in starting their own business, like my advice is it's the cheesy stuff. It's always like, if you have the right intention, you will be successful.
Believe in yourself.
Yeah, believe in yourself, believe in like what your body's telling you, what inside you is telling you, because you would have been in this position if you weren't supposed to be. If it's not supposed to keep going, it will end, and you have to just trust that. Like it's
It's all intertwined.
Yeah, it's definitely not like what you would find on like business courses.
No.
Or if I kept doing that degree, like that's not what I would have learned.
Your personal.
Well, you did do a business course, so
You did?
No, you did.
Well, I
For
did it
one
for a
semester.
I wasn't too like, I don't even know what I learned.
That was like
all of your teachings would have been from actually building the business.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no. Everything I know about business, I've learned on the spot, which is why, like, I'm not even certain that it translates into other people's businesses or what they're trying to build.
Yeah.
But I'm just grateful that this is what it's looked like for me. It's been extremely natural.
Yeah.
And, like, I had to obviously work and choose to do hard things during that time. But those answers, like, just came at me. Like, I was more listening. I wasn't like this leader and like this like smart business savvy woman. It was just like, that makes sense, I'm going to do that.
100%.
That's all it's been for me.
Similar.
Just created your own space.
Yeah.
Similar story with myself. I did one semester of, what was it? A Bachelor of Exercise Sports Science.
Oh, yeah.
Then I left, and then I went on this journey of labouring and all this other stuff. And now I'm a PT owning a gym.
You made it
so
back in, yeah.
I made it back in. I made it back.
Yeah.
So you were actually becoming a PT, then you decided, stuff this.
I was
became a labourer, then became a PT again.
I just couldn't do uni.
I
I just
agree.
couldn't do uni. I couldn't like mentally sit there and listen to the professor or whoever was at the lecturer at the farm sitting there going, oh no, I can't do this. Anyway, now we're here. So it's part of the chapters, as we mentioned. When you made that decision to look at that place that you're in Earlwood, that is a big step. When were the first signs that you were building more than a gym? As soon as you signed that lease paper saying, yep, I'm all ready to go, at what point in that whole journey were you like, okay, I'm building more than just a regular gym?
I think when I was at that second space, which was just a little bit bigger, that was when I started to do group classes. and I started to see the different ways that my clients would benefit from like training together and meeting each other. And it was much more than just like, oh, they're at similar physical levels. It was like they would vibe. They would help each other. They're in similar phases of their life, kind of thing. And then in that first stage, we had such a cool like class energy. Like it was just like, I would say still today, the girls still talk about it like we all peaked in 2019, because it was like, it was just really good energy. And when I saw that happening, I realized like, yes, it's not worth it to just, you know, rent a space in someone else's gym. I want to keep growing this and keep growing on what I'm seeing already happening here. And that required me to have my own space to do that, to be fully in charge. I guess you could probably create it still sharing with someone else, but it would have to be the right person. And where I was, it just wasn't the right person.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
You know, walking into this place, obviously this is,
I knew this was going to come. I was going to ask you as well. Okay.
You know, I walked into this place, I've never been a fan of group training.
Okay.
Ever in my life. I always hated the F45s and all those style of gyms. I always thought that you can't actually get good results in a group session. But then the moment I walked in here, within the first week, my mind just completely changed. Because I realised the people that walk into these group classes may not have the motivation to come here and train on their own. May not have the motivation to actually progressively look at their numbers and be able to increase their numbers on a deadlift or whatever it is. We all know that that's how you get the best results. But then I realised, you know what? A group class, you have the motivation, you have the coaches, you have the people around you that will motivate you to turn up. These people are turning up a lot more frequently than they would to a PT session or whatever it is. Yeah.
People are just wired differently. Some people are just, they want to come in, they want to have a quick chat with you, they want to get their shit done, they want to go.
Yeah.
Some people really thrive in that community setting. And also, you're in charge here. So it's like, of course, group fitness has such a bad name. And even like, when you say women's strength training, or when you say strength training, that could mean so many different things.
It's
so
a scary word.
Owners, you are the boss. So you get to turn group fitness into whatever you want it to be. So of course you can get results that way. But it's just like not sticking to whatever blueprint you think
has been created before.
Yeah. Exactly.
Creating your own.
It's just like jumping around the room.
Well, exactly. So like one of the first things I say to new clients when they're interested in the classes is, first of all, they have to do a bit of PT to just learn the basics so that things run smoothly. And that just, I let them know straight away, this is not like a fitness class that you think you're entering into. We're pretty much going to do what we've been doing in our one-on-ones, but now you have 7 other girls to do it with.
That's awesome.
So it truly is slow, and I warn them that in the first initial stages, you're going to feel like I'm not doing enough, I'm resting too much, there's too much rest between sets, and I'm just like, you're going to have to cop it and trust the process, and eventually you'll be asking me for more rest when you get strong enough, and when you realise, oh, resting that way got me really strong, and now I'm working with intensity kind of thing. But yeah, there's, I guess, like from outside, people can't really tell the difference, but they have to try your service and then they'll find out
exactly
how different you are. Kind of.
You have a really good insight into the mind of your client, and letting them take that step back and be like, look, you need to do these personal training sessions first. I need to make sure that you hit the criteria before jumping into any of these classes, gives you the safety net and also gives them the safety net that they're doing everything confidently as they can.
Yeah.
And I like that. That's really, really cool. I've never heard anyone approach it like that, which is awesome.
It's definitely needed. And I've found in the past, I've been really like lenient, because obviously classes are a more affordable option. And I'm totally understanding to that, which is why I explain, like, we'll get this PT done as quickly as possible so that we can get you into classes, but you've got to be more mentally present, and you're here for education as well as just, you're not just getting through the session, you're really listening to what I'm telling you about movement and about the way your body needs to move. Because if I hadn't held strong to that, and in the past I didn't, I was obviously not as confident. Or
just chuck them into a class.
It's like, all right, you're begging me, fine, go in. Those clients don't last in class because they're not doing things with intention. They're not getting the most out of the classes. They're just kind of like running through it and wondering, why aren't I getting the results that other clients are getting? Kind of thing. And then
they're the ones that complain the most as well.
Oh, for sure. and you kind of just like by default invest less into them, unfortunately. Like maybe you're not supposed to say that, but you just do, because they haven't.
It's true though.
They haven't proven how much they are willing to learn, and unfortunately, especially when it comes to like women's health, you need to take a little bit of like the responsibility with yourself. I can't just keep barking orders at you. You need to understand why you're here, why we're doing this movement, why we choose to rest now, or whatever it is. Like they need to have a bit of that, just a bit of that understanding for themselves.
100%. See, most PTs, they tend to generalize because they feel like they're not going to get enough clients for their niche.
Yes.
What made you realize that, you know what, stuff it, I don't care about the boys. I'm just going to niche down. I'm making a women's only gym and I'm running with it.
Well, I think that in the initial stages, it was as simple as my client base was 90% women. Like when I was still training men and women, it was 90% women who are attracted to a female, like who want to actually work with a female PT. It takes a specific kind of guy that wants to train with a female, especially in 2015. Not a lot of men want to trust a female's knowledge. They just don't. Most men at that time, even when they're not trainers, will just assume they know much more than you, even though this is your livelihood, because they're a man and you're a woman. So that was the kind of vibe within those gyms. And the men that I was training were usually husbands of the women I was training. And they were lovely. And I enjoyed training them. But I just realized, I guess after that experience, it was like, it makes much more sense to have a niche and to do it really, really well. And I'm just more passionate about it. And like not everyone is for you. You shouldn't be trying to attract every single client. It doesn't make any sense. Like it's even today, even within women, I'm not for everyone. Not everyone is ready for what my service is. A lot of people just kind of want to stay, not addressing, the root causes of their problems. They just want to mask everything and have lots of coffee and train really hard. And I'm not the coach that's going to give you that experience. I'm going to be like,
100%.
no, let's talk about these other things that your body's presenting with. We can't ignore it, kind of thing.
That's a really good approach.
Thank you.
In terms of your journey, what were you doing for your training? What were you doing behind the scenes?
So I guess when I was young, I did a lot of yoga. Like when I was a child, I did a lot of yoga for a while. So I guess that's worth mentioning because it's always had just a small influence, even though I stepped away from it from a long time. And then I started off with, before I was a trainer, I started off with group fitness classes at gyms. So like your body pump and your body attack. I don't know if you have any
I've heard
idea.
of those ones.
Okay, yeah, they were very popular back then. And it really is about just like going hard. And no, it's not the most intelligent way to train at all, but it grows
Jump around the room.
Yeah, like just like exert yourself until you have nothing to give.
Yeah.
But it teaches you things like grit and like, resilience and the mental side of training. Yeah, it teaches you to not be afraid to be short of breath or, it just teaches you those sorts of things. So I'm glad I did that. Eventually, I found myself in a CrossFit gym for a very short amount of time, and at some point it was obvious that I didn't want to do CrossFit, so I kind of got the coach to just teach me more about just the strength component of things, which made just more sense for my body. And then I was really into strength training for most of that time, a little bit of a blend of like strength bodybuilding style, and then I got into powerlifting and did that for a little while, and then it wasn't. Now I would say my training style is very different. After a short stint of powerlifting, I was in a really, really minor car accident. It was so small. I was in like 3 car accidents that year, all so small.
3?
All within like a month. Like it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I sold that car like after the third. I was like,
you
I don't know.
Cursed.
Like this isn't it. None of them were my fault, by the way. I swear.
This is not the right car for me.
No. And I was so, it was pretty bad whiplash. And it was while I was still pretty much following a powerlifting style program. And I realized how inflamed I was when I got the whiplash and I was just in such a bad state. And then my body was extra inflamed. I was so uncomfortable. And then I couldn't ignore things like I have scoliosis, and it was something that doesn't bring me much pain. But then I realized how much it does influence how I train and how I move. And anyway, it brought light to how much dysfunction I still had in my body. And being that inflamed, I thought this is how most of my clients actually just live day to day, because they don't, rest enough or have the habits, or they're still stuck on like the male advice or whatever it is. Like women, I'll say, because that's my experience, are very inflamed.
Yeah.
So then that kind of gave me this big motivation to really get into how can now I combine all these things I've experienced, combine strength training with breath, with yoga, with powerlifting, with getting these women to get strong, but also calm their nervous systems, and getting just really specific with it. I got really into like mobility training because I realized not only do I have scoliosis, but majority of the women that come to me are Gen Pop women. They have so much dysfunction. Like, they're not built like athletes. If they were, they probably would have already got into, a CrossFit gym and just gone hard with it and never gotten injured. But the women that find themselves in my studio have so much dysfunction or are dealing with health issues. And then I realized that just requires a very different style of training. And so when I stopped powerlifting and I wanted to be my own coach and not have any other person's influence, I'm now training in that same way, because I also have all those issues and I also have dysfunction, and so it reflects exactly the service you get. I'm now training that same way.
Wow. So you're essentially training mini yous.
Literally. I am Gen Pop. Like, I'm Queen Gen Pop. I have the example. I'm the first round of testing. Yeah. This body.
So you tested on yourself first.
Absolutely.
And you're like, all right, girls.
Yeah,
get
they
around.
know. My clients know. When I upload my training, they're literally 6 girls will respond for fuck's sake, we're doing that next week, aren't we? They know it's coming.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the next exercise I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah, literally. What now?
What's you testing yourself now?
Do you believe that women underestimate their own strength?
Absolutely, of course, yes. In my experience, almost every woman underestimates their own strength. I think women my age and older just grew up in environments that didn't support them to know their own strength, whether it's physical or mental. It was
skinny meaties.
Yeah, skinny meaties, and you need to shrink and you need to follow your boyfriend's workout. He'll help you at the gym. That was the norm for so long. So I think you can be blessed enough to have such supportive parents and upbringing and all that, but the rest of the influences were just too much. So women my age and older, and I'm sure younger, but I think it's getting better and better. There was no influence trying to empower them or trying to encourage them to step into their own power.
Not enough people in the industry.
No.
Yeah. So you just walk in with your boyfriend and do chest and arms all day.
Literally. Literally, the workouts I've seen, women have explained to me, and I'm like, why are you doing that?
Doesn't make any sense.
No, often.
And you would have been in the middle of it or in the thick of it around COVID time. What was that experience like for you going through COVID?
COVID was hard, of course. It was right after that big peak that I spoke about of the classes getting really fun and popular and everyone really getting to know each other. It was a really good vibe. So it felt like a big peak and then a drop when I couldn't hold the classes anymore. Because I've always worked in private studios, I was lucky enough to still be able to continue one-on-one PT. But of course, that got harder and harder. Remember, they started instilling a zone or whatever, so the 5K radius or whatever. Yeah. So then a lot of my clients that travel further to get to me couldn't come anymore. So it was definitely hard, and personally, I just struggled because of all the uncertainty. I was one of those people that were really anxious during COVID. But PT is something that's so stable in my life. I've done it this is year 11. So it's amongst all the other things or whatever else I was feeling, being able to show up for, even if it was just a couple clients a day.
Yep.
And switching into PT mode, coach mode, that's your biggest break from whatever you're going through personally, because you're just you have to show up. You have to be this person.
Locked in.
Yeah, you're locked in. You're the coach in the room. You have to take an authoritative tone. You have to be the one that your client can lean on, and you're the one supporting. So it's actually a really it's helpful. It gives back to you as well in that way, and it definitely did during COVID.
Do you believe that kept you in the fight?
Yes, absolutely. Literally the need to be there.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
Are you talking about a boxing ring fight or?
Sure, if that's where your mind went, of course. No worries, mate. Fucking boxing ring more. Jesus Christ.
But I haven't asked you before. Were you training in COVID?
Yeah.
You were?
I was at F45 at that time.
Working at F45?
Oh, yes, that's right.
Ah.
So fortunately enough, we were in a gated area.
Community?
Oh, yep.
Yes, gated.
It sounds like a cult. F45 is a cult.
It was a leisure centre.
Okay.
So anyway, it was at San Susie Leisure Centre. So we were training outside the pool, but we could do the training.
Because it's outdoor,
outside.
of course. Yeah.
So it's
that's
technically
lucky.
outside, but
That's lucky.
so we could bring all our equipment out and stuff
Pretty
like that.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
is. No,
A lot of
I just
PTs
never
had
knew
to
that.
completely shut down in that time, so that
Yeah.
would have sucked.
Yeah.
And that's when I started as a mobile PT.
Ah, right.
Never looked back since then.
Yeah.
Until this place.
Well, yeah.
I haven't actually worked in a gym until I got this place.
Yeah, right.
So this is his first gym experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
So different.
My cherry.
Took-
I never did group classes though. That's one thing I've never done until I got here.
It's very different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is different. I worked at F45 for a very short amount of time
Yeah.
when I was like moving from the commercial gym to building the first studio. And there was a couple months where I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I haven't found a space yet. And at that time, an F45 was opening in my suburb or the suburb that I work in. And it did. It helped to like go from like a quieter PT voice that can handle one woman in front of her to like yelling in front of 30 people. So it like gave me some skills. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely gives you skills.
Yeah, absolutely. To have to like be the leader of that many people training at once, and also because it's all within the same suburb, it just helped to grow my name as the female PT in
100%.
the area. Yeah. So I still have women that I'm sure I met from F45. Still
there
their
we go.
clients today. Yeah.
You're invested into menopause, postpartum, all those stages. What got you interested in that? Obviously, being a female gym, it's good to learn about, but what got you really interested in it?
I think watching my clients into those stages in their lives, most of my clients are long term. Like a lot of them I've had literally from either the first space, a couple of them from the anytime, like from the commercial gym, are still with me today. So I've seen them be 20 and now 30. I've seen women go from, their 40s to their 50s, and watching them with all the things they've struggled with, it's obvious that we can do it better. There's not like this. I've always thought there's not obviously a major flaw in the design of the female body, but there's just a flaw in like the advice that we've been following and the advice that women are given. Kind of thing. So yeah, it's just seeing them go through that, and we obviously have close relationships after this long, so they confide in me in all their symptoms and all their struggles and what they're going through is like, no, there's definitely a way we can do this better, and not only do I want to learn how to help them navigate what they're experiencing, but then learn how to teach my younger clients how to change things so that hopefully when they reach that stage, it looks very different for them as well. And for
100%.
myself. Also for myself.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier in the podcast that a lot of women are inflamed. What did you mean by that?
A lot of women are inflamed for so many different reasons. Usually, like, without getting technical, they're doing too much. Women are doing too much. Women have like shot nervous systems. They've grown up being told they have to do it all, and they have tried to fit into kind of like a male calendar, ignore the signs of their body, ignore the warning signs.
From years of giving back and giving to everyone, but never giving back to themselves.
It's literally exactly that. And at the start of my business, that's what a lot of my language and my wording was. And a lot of my marketing was about self-care, like training and taking care of your wellness is self-care. And that seeps into still today how I talk about taking care of yourself. Women, it takes so many years, or from my experience, I've witnessed women take so many years to chip away at that strong, like internal need to always give back, never take care of yourself, never rest. The guilt of resting, that's a big, big step for a woman to take, like to just be able to do nothing. It's usually as a result of that. And that inflammation can cause things like hormonal imbalances. And so whichever path you've taken, whether you're trying to get pregnant and you can't get pregnant, and so you're at the doctor and you're doing the tests to find out I have hormonal imbalance, and look, I'm also inflamed. Or whether you find yourself feeling bloated and waking up puffy, and what are the other physical symptoms where you find out I'm inflamed first, like the language around it is still not even super clear for a woman to just be like, this is what I'm going through. You can be diagnosed with something, and in another country, the symptoms don't even kind of like qualify to diagnose you with that same condition. So it's kind of like you don't even know what to believe or what to like run with.
Yeah.
So then you don't know what next step to take.
Yeah.
So it has been really confusing. But when I say inflammation, I guess that's a really general term because they could be going through so many different things, but as a result, they are all inflamed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because at every stage you would be different,
Yeah.
or would present differently.
Yes. Yeah.
But what are some things that I guess any woman watching this right now would be able to listen to and realize, okay, maybe I am inflamed. What should I look for?
Look, whether it's inflammation or hormonal imbalances, it's really obvious things like not sleeping well, not sleeping through the night, feeling like you're never digesting your food well, skin issues, gut issues, like bowel issues, heavy periods, painful periods. A lot of these things are so normalized because they're common, but that doesn't mean that they're normal and that your body isn't giving you signs that something is wrong. We shouldn't just live with these symptoms, whereas for a long time we were told, that happens. Like, the female body's so complicated.
Just a period, that's all right.
It's just it's just part of having a period, but it's like, well,
Part of getting older. It's all
yes, yeah, exactly. And it's like, I'm inclined to question that. Like, why would whoever created the body give males such a easy job and just say, whatever, female bodies they're all messed up. Who knows what's going on there? It's like, I think that I don't just think that, because now following this advice and treating my body in a very different way, focusing on things like anti-inflammatory diet, training with my cycle, acknowledging my cycle. I have the freedom, even because I am my own boss, to literally schedule my hours differently week to week to support my luteal phase, or to support when I'm supposed to be kind of a little bit more rested, which sounds extreme. But the fact is, when you get on top of all these things and you get to know your body really well, you listen to what it's telling you, I don't feel burdened by the symptoms of being a woman or the hormones of being a woman. I feel empowered by them. Like, they truly make me feel powerful and more intuitive and more confident. And when you're going with the flow as you should, when you're just fighting it and there's that constant resistance, that's when you feel things like inflamed, always tired, always sluggish, just like always running on empty.
Wow,
and then you're burdened by by the female experience.
By your body and everything like that. Yeah. One of the biggest changes that we've made as soon as we stepped in here is looking more into everyone's nutrition. And one of the biggest changes we've had is forcing all of our clients, especially the early morning ones, to have some type of food first thing in the morning.
Absolutely.
Because most of them just think, I'm just going to have my coffee before gym.
It's probably step one when I meet a client, because obviously as coach, like, your first questions are about movement. It's not, let's get on top of your nutrition. I'm not a nutritionist kind of thing, but of course we give general guidance and you can, poke and see where you're at. And if it's absolutely rubbish, I'll refer them out to a nutritionist that I have. Or if it's like just a few tweaks, I'm happy to have those conversations with them. And absolutely the very first thing I ask every woman is, do you start your day with coffee? Is that the first thing that hits your stomach? A coffee? And if so, that's the first thing you need to change.
Have a banana. That's my favourite one.
Well, for a woman, have a protein source.
Ooh,
Ideally, we don't start with carbs as a woman.
Yep.
So, like, of course, if it's pre-training, you're going to want to have some carbs, but you need to be having your carb with a protein or protein hitting that belly before that carb digests.
Why's that?
It's to do with more, like, we're much more heavily influenced by, like, our insulin and kind of going on that journey. So if you start your day with carbs and coffee, which is such an easy go-to, I understand it's the most convenient macronutrient found in a banana.
And it's very easy as well.
It is easy, it's convenient, and I'm sure that, like, I don't have anything to say about what men can do. Men's bodies are amazing. They turn around every 24 hours. You probably can just live on a coffee and a banana and just, like, deal with it later. And, like, one big fat meal at night,
as well.
You're all good. Like, it's a whole different ballpark, and I actually don't know much about it.
I feel completely fine.
Yeah. Which, no, women feel fine. It's not like a in the moment.
It's about fueling them correctly.
Yes, it's about fueling them correctly and understanding what that's doing to your body over time.
Long term.
Yes, exactly. So it's like, a lot of clients will argue and will say, no, I feel best if I train fasted. Trust me. I feel heavy if I train and if I've eaten something. And it's like, well, we've just got to find the right thing for you to eat.
Protein bars are a very quick and easy source. No.
I'm gonna give you another no.
No.
I wouldn't say protein bar.
I don't want to shoot you down
A
again.
nut bar, garments.
Yeah, look,
Garments and nut bars.
very first thing in the morning for example, my clients who come to like a 6:30 a.m. class, something as even simple as half serving of a protein shake and a banana. So, like, because sometimes they say it's a bit too, like, heavy to have a whole shake or something like that.
Yes.
They can do the yogurt with some blueberries and fruit and honey or something.
Yeah.
So it's getting a source of protein. The only reason I say no to the protein bars is just, 90% of protein bars are full of crap, right?
Oh yeah, I agree.
But of course, I'm sure there are
And
good ones out
very
there.
high in
and
fat.
high in
very
fat, which pre-training is going to make you sluggish, is going to make you feel shit. Like,
Feel shit, yeah.
And then that's when they clock it as, no, I don't want to eat before training. But it's like, no, you just chose the wrong things.
Yep.
But like even that, I guess that's something that I'm quite lenient on. If
Yep.
it's like the 6:30 a.m. class and they're like, that's all I could get in. I'm like, all right, that's all you could get in.
Yeah.
It's better than nothing.
Exactly. That I say that every week. It's better than nothing. Just like instill the habit of never allowing yourself to have that coffee on an empty stomach.
Well, we had a client that came to us with something that she has every day, the banoffee.
Oh yeah, so they
It's a
have the
protein
protein
shake.
shake,
That's cool.
coffee shot,
Oh, okay.
and a banana
Okay.
in the protein shake.
So it's protein powder,
Okay.
coffee, and banana, all blended in.
I don't hate it. No, I
try
don't.
it.
No, first of all, it sounds delicious.
Yeah, it is.
I definitely don't hate it.
We
Like,
tried it. It's mad.
yeah.
Why?
No.
You sound hesitant about
Well,
it.
because
Coffee in the morning.
it's coffee first thing. It's
Yep.
coffee in that first thing. But I don't hate it. And like, I'll do things like have, sometimes if I'm running late or something, I'll have a protein shake that is like one of the ones with caffeine in it or something. And it will have caffeine in it. And I
bit of pre
I
for
don't
the
know
morning.
exactly, like there's not enough research on that exact nuance or
Yeah.
like what that means. But I mean, what she's doing is that much better than the alternative, right? Like, and if it motivates her and then that's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess ideal world, she would have the banoffee situation and the coffee would come
After?
5 minutes after. Literally
Just a little space.
literally just, yes, cup of water in between,
Just
then
separate
show
them a
your
little
coffee.
bit.
That I think would be ideal.
You have a lot of information on women's health, women's strength. It's an awesome category to be in. Now, obviously, you can't give out all this information to every single person that you meet. So, do you do things like workshops and seminars to help educate women more?
Yeah, it was one of the things that I guess that's another reason why I wanted the private space that we're finally in now, is because I did want to bring even other women in, like other professionals in, to bring this information directly to my clients and to even non-clients, just like members of the community, women in the community. Because I think it's important and I think it's something that I schedule every 6 months as a bare minimum, whether it's even just I do like at the start of every year we do mindset sessions. So of course like goal setting, but it's always like setting new standards for the studio, and a lot of the women have been coming for years, so it's like we're all on the same kind of ride together. I've had that holistic nutritionist in talking about eating well for your hormones. I've had pelvic floor physio in. We did a pregnancy workshop recently, which might have been my favourite one.
Wow.
I've had a meditation coach in, teaching women about slowing down, because it was very clear during that year that a lot of women had to kind of slow down and learn to breathe and build the skill of meditation, whatever they need that to look like.
When's your next one? I want to come.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
They sound mad.
Yeah,
You're
no,
not
for
allowed.
sure.
Good. Why?
You're not female.
Coaches are welcome.
Coaches are welcome.
If you're there to learn, you are welcome.
I'm there to absorb
Yes.
the information and project it, and I learnt it from Be a Strength.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm promoting. Cross promotion.
It's good.
Collaboration, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, cool. Well, and how long have you been sort of collaborating with people?
I started that as soon as I moved into this final space, which was
Awesome.
end of 2021.
Wow.
Yeah, so every 6 months or so I kind of plan something. Sometimes they take longer to plan, but yeah,
That's so cool.
I enjoy it a lot, yeah.
What do you think the modern woman struggles with the most?
I think the noise. So I think the modern woman struggles with like how much social media today has like brought way too much information at them, which is like not one person's fault, no one person's fault. But what I see with new clients when they come in is this theme of, I tried this, I've tried this, but they didn't stick to any of those things because they already heard something new that they were supposed to do.
Yeah, they just tried
That's my
it.
favourite part.
It's that, and they just have no ability to kind of decipher what's beneficial for them and what's not, and that's fair enough. There's just so much information out there. I think
like who to
struggling
listen
with
to and what to listen to.
who's worth listening to, and there's no way to even say who is worth and who isn't worth it. But
You can't really decipher it.
you can't,
But I
especially
do
if it's not
feel
your
like
job.
if you do stick to one thing, and see it out,
Yes.
that's the only way that you're going to see if it's worth it for
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
Because I do notice a lot of girls that come in here that the ones that are most successful are the ones that actually tried it
Yes.
and they actually committed.
Yeah.
I can tick it
Because
off.
Yes.
Sometimes it's more about something that works for one person is not going to work for the next person. And one person might respond really well to something that you never thought they would respond well to
Yes, absolutely. And it's almost like maybe it's not good to say, but like the program barely matters. It's the intention you're doing it with. Like,
Yes.
how hard are you showing up? Are you showing up and you're whinging the whole time? And so every rep you do, every set you do, you're losing an extra 5 reps. You're doing half the weight that you're capable of, that kind of thing. Or are you showing up with the right mindset? You have fully committed. You trust the coaches that you've chosen to pay, and then you will reap a totally different reward, a totally different results versus, and it's from the outside, it looks like the same service.
Yeah.
And I've definitely experienced that too, where women have come and be like, this just hasn't worked. I thought
Yeah.
this would work after 6 months. And I'm like, no, you haven't worked in the past 6 months. I forgot you were a client of mine. Like,
yeah.
you've
You
barely
just
been
walk
here.
in, walk out.
Yeah, like you've barely been here. We don't communicate. Like, you haven't committed to any habits outside the gym. I bet it hasn't worked.
Do you believe that seeing that progress, like through strength training, helps them with that?
Yeah, I think strength training becomes the structure, like the base.
The foundation.
This foundation of like, if you can just blur out that noise, which is really hard to do, but if you find a coach you trust or even whatever it is, or a path you trust, and stick to a strength training program, blur the rest out, and that strength training program will require you by default to increase your strength. You are required to match it with your nutrition, hit your protein goals, match it with your rest, match it with quality sleep. And then you start to layer on those things, and I think it then becomes a lot easier to be so attracted to whatever is popping up in your news feed, because you're like, no, I'm good. I'm on a good path. Like, you can trust the path you're on rather than being so vulnerable to just like whatever
All
anyone's
the
selling.
changes and everything like that.
Yeah.
With all the information that you've told us today, if there's one bit of information that you could give to a woman watching one of these podcasts, what would it be?
I think that she should know that she is in charge of her body and her results. And there is not one path that you have to take. Like, some people start with the movement side of things, some people start with nutrition, some people start with meditation or slowing down or recovery or whatever it is. There's not one path. It's more that you have to, unfortunately, accept that you are solely responsible for your results. Of course, your coach is there to support you and guide you, but if you're not giving, they've got nothing to work with. So I would want them to know that there's nothing wrong with their bodies. That's a big one. There's nothing wrong with their bodies, and that if you start to listen to your body and start to be present with your body, then it will get better. Like, you will get the results that you're after, but you have to actually be like, stop palming it off to everybody else. The doctor didn't tell me this, or my coach is shit, or whatever it is. Like, you have to actually sit with yourself and decide, I'm in charge. I'm going to do this with intention. I'm going to follow until I get to the root cause of why this is happening to my body. Ask for a second opinion, all those sorts of things.
And be patient.
Be patient, for sure.
The path of least resistance is the one you don't take.
Sometimes.
Depending.
I think like some people that's their only option.
Yeah.
That's all. If that's better than inaction, fine, do it.
Yeah.
Do the shit path, make the mistake, because at least you're doing something.
Exactly.
At least you're creating action in yourself. And yeah.
I like that. What do you want your legacy to be within the female space?
I want my legacy to be one that greatly contributes to this new culture of women's health, of one that encourages women or just sees women training truly for the long-term health of their body, and no longer being ruled by their insecurities and their body image, and training just to look a certain way or to fit a certain size or weigh a certain amount. But yeah, like women who are truly empowered, and that comes from taking care of yourself physically, mentally, all of it. So yeah, that's what I would want to really have contributed to. I'm happy with that.
Full female empowerment.
Very much so.
I like that. If there was one message you would want someone to walk away with today from this podcast that they're listening to, what would it be? 'Cause you've spoken a lot about Be Your Strength and what Be Your Strength stands for. You've talked about your whole educational journey in terms of what you've done, how you've grown from different experiences. What can someone take away from your story that they can...
Oh, okay. So less like a client, but more just a person.
Yeah.
Be so present that you get to listen to the signs when they come at you.
Love that.
Like just like work on your
Love
presence. You don't need to have all the answers immediately. You just need to work on sitting in stillness, sitting in discomfort, and let the answers come to you.
Yeah.
In my experience, that's all I can speak about. They always come.
You mentioned before about inflammation of the body. Mentally, women can get inflamed in terms of being overwhelmed with everything that they put themselves through, in terms of giving back to everyone and not really giving back to themselves.
CNS fatigue.
Sorry?
CNS fatigue.
CNS fatigue. Explain what CNS fatigue is. I'm quite interested. What is CNS fatigue?
Sorry.
The way he turns his chair. Call me, young Padawan. Oh, you actually asked me.
Full asked you. Yeah. What is CNS
Okay, so
fatigue?
it's your central nervous system.
Yep.
You can fatigue your central nervous system from overtraining, under resting, so not resting enough, under fueling. It's very common for women to get into reds. This is more like elite athletes, I guess, but I've actually seen it a few times, not on this gym floor, but a lot of your group training studios when they're doing double sessions or training 7 times a week, but they're only having like 1,200 calories. Not only are they under fueling, under training, getting into reds, but they're creating CNS fatigue, and they're just rolling into every single day purely based on discipline and grit instead of actually focusing on their body.
Yeah.
Have you seen CNS fatigue?
I have, and whether we call it CNS fatigue or at BL we call it your nervous system is shot this week. Like
That's the best way to say it.
Yeah,
Your CNS is
definitely.
shot.
Yeah, you're fucked. Like rest, you're breathing this session. Like, but yeah, of course, it totally happens, and it all goes hand in hand. Like it's a result of trying to live a life that doesn't support the female body, but trying to keep up with this male clock kind of thing, and sometimes that can come from things like, like trauma. It's a trauma response. You're running from something that you're running from the reason why you're so scared to be present with yourself, because what's going to come up kind of thing. So I've seen a lot of that happen, and that's what kind of led me to do the course on your vagus nerve and to understand more about the nervous system, because it has such an influence, and it can be as simple as understanding that if your nervous system is shot like that, there is no point, even when you are sleeping, where you are efficiently resting and recovering. And that's why you're not getting those results that you're after, and that's why your body's not letting go of body fat, and you're wondering, but I'm eating so little, why aren't I losing fat? Because you're not actually resting and recovering properly at all in that state.
Because your CNS is fucked.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, it's true.
Or shot. Have you never heard of that before?
No, I've never heard of CNS fatigue.
Oh, you haven't?
Never. No.
Okay.
So I'm learning. That's the whole point of these podcasts, isn't it, mate? To
I've
learn.
had CNS fatigue. Let me try and think of what I was doing.
All right. While you think, I'm going to ask you another question. All right.
I'll bring it back.
All right. That's all right. Just keep staring into the camera and think as hard as you fucking can. 11 years is a very successful period to be working. So congratulations on that as well.
Thanks.
What does success mean to you?
Ooh, I love that, because I think success for me is a bit different for most people.
We always get different answers, so I'm always open to hearing it.
I think success is like going through your week and not getting to CNS fatigue. But honestly, I think success is getting to lead a life you love, feeling grateful daily, having enough work-life balance, still being able to progress in the ways that you want to progress, whether it's personally or professionally or whatever it is. But yeah, success for me is working 4 days a week and having enough money to pay my mortgage, and my job being so rewarding that every single day I go home feeling like that was good work today. That was good work we just did. It feels so passionate. So I think that's what success means to me. And I'm sure it means different to other people. But I feel successful in that way, in that I I don't take it for granted. I know when people ask me about work and about why you're at the beach on a Thursday or whatever it is, like I know that I'm so lucky to have found this at a young age and to have just gone with it.
Yeah.
It's what I've been blessed with. It's my thing. My job has been my biggest blessing.
Yeah, it's like,
I really like that.
those Instagram reels that I've been seeing recently of you just got lucky, but it's all the background work, like
Of
all
course.
the back end work.
Yeah. You can't see what I've done to get there.
Exactly.
Especially when I meet people today, they're like, what do you mean you only work this many hours or this or whatever it is?
11
and it's
years
like,
in the experience. Oh, rookie numbers.
Yeah. And it's like, exactly.
You just got there.
Yeah,
You're
like,
a
how did
PT.
you just get there? But it's like, no, like I did all those freaking 5 a.m. starts and 6 days a week, and I had a fried CNS and like I broke out in hives at one point. My throat closed so bad.
Oh, wow.
I had to go to the hospital and get a steroid shot, and it was just from being overworked.
Yeah.
Like it was and I mean, also I was 21, so I was partying on top of that, so that it wasn't going to ever work. But the point is, I've done those hours. I've done my time, and not to say that I'm not still seeking growth, but in a very different way. And respecting my needs, my female body needs.
Yeah, I
really like that.
Yeah, I like asking that question because no answer is wrong. Success is defined very individually.
Yeah.
Like the way you define success, a lot of people say happy, a lot of people say financially free.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of definitions, but I believe that with what you've spoken about today, and because we've been personal trainers for around 10 years combined, that you have been successful.
Thank you.
The whole journey has been successful for you. So
I feel that.
thank you very much for coming on. I do appreciate it.
Oh,
Thank you for having me.
CNS fatigue, it's sort of like burnout.
Yeah, that's a good word. People use burnout a lot.
People use burnout as the
People like that
definition
word.
for it.
Yeah.
As the blanket statement over
It is.
the top
Because
of
there's a lot of
CNS.
You know when
different
you
things
think
that
like
could be
burnout,
burnout.
Yes.
that's what burnout is in a scientific term.
Okay, thanks. I'll make sure
I still don't believe in it though.
What the fuck?
Do you believe in burnout?
Well, I mean, like, it depends the way you're using the word.
Well,
Like-
it's just burnt out.
Yeah, of course people can get burnt out, but like people like don't know what to describe that as. People can be like mentally fucked from being in a situation they shouldn't be in. You know, like there's so many, what are you going to call burnout?
Exactly, there's so many definitions.
Yes.
That's why I just don't believe in it.
In the term burnout, full
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Like, like you want to get more specific with what's actually happening to that person.
Exactly.
I don't mind that.
See?
What are you saying C about?
Because you always say burnout's a real thing. I'm just like, no, it's not.
Well, I mean, you kind of agree. You're saying the same thing.
I never disagreed with you that you. I don't. What? Why are you saying C? Like I never believed you. Fuck.
Thanks, Denise, for coming on a podcast.
Oh my
Thanks
god.
for having me.
I'm gonna start going like full walk that on you in a minute. Shut up and go to your room. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you
I
for
appreciate
having me.
it.
Cheers. And thank you guys for listening to this week's episode of the Dynamic Podcast.
Thank you so much for sticking around. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And if friends are interested, share it around.
Don't forget to comment your favorite part of this episode and tag us on your social media platforms.
And we'll see you next Friday. Ciao.